A staffing shift in Governor Wes Moore's office is raising questions about transparency of nonprofits and their influence on public policy. Spotlight on Maryland's Gary Collins takes a look into a senior government official's move to a large area nonprofit.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Following an announcement on Monday by the Abell Foundation that Maryland Governor Wes Moore's chief of staff, Fagan Harris, would become the nonprofit's president and CEO, we tried to question the governor after unrelated events on Tuesday in Columbia. We were told at 11:01 on Tuesday that the governor couldn't take questions and had to immediately leave because he was running 15 minutes late. His security detail ultimately blocked us and other reporters from asking questions. Then, 29 minutes later, as we were packing up our gear, the governor appeared nearby and walked to his vehicle while his staff stood by on lookout.
I think the governor has a lot of calculations that are going on in his head.
After the event, we spoke with Tyrone Keys, a financial services and real estate expert, about the governor's top staffer moving to a Maryland nonprofit with more than $250 million in assets, according to the organization's most recently publicly available tax forms.
And instead of being authentic and open with the press and the public, I think the higher political aspirations are more of an influence.
Just last week, with only the ability to ask 2 questions during a 3-minute availability, we tried to press Governor Moore on Spotlight on Maryland's prior reporting about nonprofit transparency, as well as other similar stories published by Fox 45 News and the Baltimore Sun. We again tried to press for answers. Our partners at the Baltimore Sun have repeatedly reached out to your team about full accountability and transparency for nonprofit funding. They haven't received a response back. As the state's chief executive, do you plan to ensure that full transparency happens with nonprofit funding?
I think people know and realize that our administration believes in full transparency. That we understand that the things that we are going to support are things that are both sustainable and effective. And when you're looking at the entire budget for the state of Maryland, we are very wise and smart stewards of taxpayer dollars to make sure that the right capital is going to the right usages. And we're now going on 3 straight years where we've actually decreased the size of the general fund, decreased the size of the state budget, making sure that in the state of Maryland we know how to do more with less, and we'll continue that track.
How much is the state spending on nonprofits? A quick end to questions from local media without a clear answer from the governor. According to the Abell Foundation's tax forms for 2023, the latest that's publicly available, the Abell Foundation spent more than $20 million supporting more than 350 other nonprofits, charitable, educational, and government organizations. This includes contributing more than $39,000 to the mayor's office. The organization also spent $97,500 supporting Jews United for Justice, a vocal organization that signed this letter supporting former Department of Juvenile Services Secretary Vincent Schiraldi. Several other organizations supported by the Abell Foundation also signed the letter. The letter said, "We have confidence in your leadership as governor and faith in Secretary Schiraldi to build an approach to youth justice that both improves community safety and achieves better outcomes for kids." The letter, written in October 2024, came as a petition was circulating, and leaders began calling on Governor Moore to remove Schiraldi as DJS as leader. It remains unclear if Schiraldi left on his own or was removed in June. Meanwhile, the Abell Foundation's tax forms also show the organization funded $100,000 to the Vanatouloulis Institute for Local Journalism. The Vanatouloulis Institute is the nonprofit behind the Baltimore Banner, the news organization that broke the story about Moore's chief of staff on Monday leaving the administration. The governor's chief of staff recently announced that he is resigning from his post and joining a nonprofit in Maryland. What do you make of that?
It's interesting because I don't think that the governor and his staff do anything by chance. I think that maybe you'll see more coordination between that organization and the governor as he runs for re-election and maybe higher office. You definitely can't, on the one hand, tout transparency and then be absolutely opaque when it comes to financial data of any sort. So I think that they've got some work to do on that score if they truly intend to live up to ideals of true transparency.
Work, he says, the governor's office must make a priority. With the Urban Institute estimating that Maryland nonprofits may receive more than $6 billion in federal, state, and local funding, we will continue to dig into how nonprofits and government's intersection may affect your tax dollar and wallet. I'm Gary Collins with Spotlight on Maryland.
The Spotlight on Maryland did not receive a response to questions sent on Tuesday to Governor Moore's office, the Abell Foundation, Jews United for Justice, or the Venetoulis Institute for this story.